I had always been meticulous with my finances. I spent years building a comfortable nest egg, looking forward to enjoying my golden years.
Little did Barry Heighton know, a storm was brewing on the horizon. A storm that would wipe out his savings and leave him facing a mountain of debt. This is the story of how one man's retirement dreams were shattered by a brazen financial scam. A story that highlights the growing threat to our senior citizens and the urgent need for greater protection. Heighton's story is sadly not unique. Every year, countless seniors fall victim to financial abuse, often losing their life savings in the process. These scams can be devastating, not just financially, but emotionally as well. Many victims are left feeling ashamed, embarrassed, and betrayed. We need to shine a light on this issue and work together to prevent these crimes from happening. The scammers instructed Heighton to transfer his money into a supposed safe account. They provided him with what appeared to be legitimate government credentials. They even created a fake website mimicking a government agency.
This level of sophistication makes these scams difficult to detect.
Over several weeks, Heighton transferred $740,000, his entire life savings. He believed he was following law enforcement instructions. It wasn't until weeks later that he realized something was wrong. The account was empty. The phone numbers he had been using were disconnected. He had been the victim of a sophisticated scam.
Losing my life savings was devastating, but then came a $285,000 tax bill. Withdrawing money before 59 and a half meant significant early withdrawal penalties.
It's a cruel twist, robbed of savings and punished by the IRS. This case highlights a major flaw in our system. Victims of financial scams face a double whammy: loss and a hefty tax bill. We need greater protection and tax relief for victims. It's unjust to penalize those already traumatized. Heighton's story is a stark reminder of the risks. These criminals are masters of manipulation. They prey on our emotions and trust. We need to be vigilant and skeptical, educate ourselves and our loved ones about their tactics. The toll on Heighton was immense. He sold his home, moved in with his daughter, and cut back on expenses. His retirement dreams were shattered. He was left picking up the pieces of a life turned upside down. Section 4. Red flags and institutional responsibility. While Heighton's story is heartbreaking, it also raises serious questions about the role of financial institutions in preventing such scams. There were numerous red flags that should have raised alarms at the banks where Heighton was transferring his money.
Large, out-of-character transactions, especially those going to unfamiliar accounts, should trigger enhanced scrutiny. Banks have a responsibility to protect their customers from financial abuse.
One might assume that banks would have robust systems in place to detect and prevent such fraudulent activity. However, the reality is that many banks are more focused on profits than on protecting their customers. They often fail to adequately train their staff to identify and report suspicious transactions.
This lack of oversight creates a breeding ground for financial scams to flourish. Financial institutions need to do more. They need to invest in better fraud detection systems. They need to train their employees to recognize and report suspicious activity. And they need to be held accountable when they fail to protect their customers from financial abuse.
It's not enough to simply apologize after the fact. We need to see real action to prevent these crimes from happening in the first place.
Exactly. It's about creating an environment where these scammers can't thrive. Everyone, from financial institutions to the community, has a role to play in safeguarding our seniors.
We need to implement stricter regulations and ensure that financial institutions are held to the highest standards. Only then can we hope to see a significant reduction in these types of crimes.
Indeed, a shared responsibility is the key to making lasting changes and protecting those who are most vulnerable.